It's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, March 17th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one is this candlestick right there will be moving around and changing. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, we are going to be taking a look at QBTS. Did this one previously, and you can see right here, got the big breakout and has just continued on upwards. So no doubt about it, very, very impressive movement here as we head into the weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of those lines down there as they've already served their purpose. And now we'll focus on the current pattern here that is in play. So let's get this area of support drawn right there. Change that to green to represent support. And in fact, we might already have a breakout. I guess I can't quite tell. Let's see. Doing battle with it right now. We'll make this a little bit more. So right here you can see, or maybe you can't see. So let me do the pattern real quick just to make sure that everybody can see it, and we'll keep it one color. So we have our area of resistance, we have our area of support, we have the big upwards move right there, and then for you golfers out there, put the golf down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern, and as I speak right now, you can see that this is what I meant. The price is essentially doing battle with the top part of the pattern. So going into next week, no such thing as a guarantee, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if this thing can get some more upside pressure, then that move right there could, get some more momentum? Absolutely. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but not by no means would that, be shocking to people. Whoa, it broke that bull pattern, broke that bull pennant pattern, and then got more momentum. Like I said, I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. So moral of the story, though, if you like bull pennants, you like stocks down below the $10 mark, keep an eye on it. Next one, looking at SUNE, and again, a nice pattern here. Now, for the bottom part of the pattern, I'm just going to go ahead and use that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. So I'm not going to actually use any sort of trend line. Now, for the top of the pattern, though, I am still going to use a trend line. So let's get that drawn into play here as we have this downwards movement here occurring. You could do something like that, but I think that's a little bit too steep. What I'm just trying to illustrate is that there has been a pullback here. So that's the main reason behind the trend line, how I have it right there. Of course, feel free to disagree if you think that's drawn incorrectly. But like I said, from my vantage point, I'm just trying to illustrate that there has been a pullback here. So looking at this and just keeping the pattern the same, we have our area of resistance. Again, we're using that pink line there as a bottom part of the pattern. And then we have the upwards move right there. So yes, maybe it looks familiar, but we have ourselves, let me put the golf down here, another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is that this happens to be on a penny stock. So now we have a good variety if you do like bull pennants. So if you're someone that strictly stays in the world of penny stocks, but you like bull pennants, here you go. Next one here, looking at TSLL, and we have ourselves a pretty big technical event here. And for those of you that have watched past videos, you know what I'm talking about. But been talking about this red resistance line for quite a while. Was pretty brutal this morning. Fake breakout of that area, came back down, but then on the second test finally did get the true breakout, and then a classic back test right there. So broke out, came back down. I'm still learning the English language. Came back down, back tested, and then off it went right there. So good movement from just the trend line standpoint. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line down there as it served its purpose. So now moving forward, and this is just based on a foundational rule in charting, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. So preferably speaking, moving forward, if the price can now stay above that breakout point right there, that trend line, that would be ideal. But eventually, later on next week, what's going to ultimately take over is going to be that purple line there, 50 period, simple moving average, because keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So eventually, you just want to look at that and just say, just stay above the purple line. And as long as the price is above the purple line, then this breakout, as far as I'm concerned, is in full health. But as of right now, because the purple line is still down below the breakout point, you want to see it stay up above that former resistance trend line right there. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground now to keep an eye on, right up here around $9.40. If you go back through the history of things, you can see right there, resistance, and then even right there, resistance. So that's not to say that 940 can't be broken. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price is struggling at that area, and that'll be public enemy number one next week. Next one here, RGTI, and not really a whole lot to say right now because really the pattern has already occurred, the breakout has already occurred, because going into the late afternoon, we had, you guessed it, another bull pennant pattern. So bull pennant pattern, but then you can also see that, well, we're a little late because the breakout has already happened. Now, this brings about, though, an exciting question, and that question is this. Is this the start of something even bigger? Now, think about that question. It makes no sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile is even happening. But something worthwhile is happening here. It has broken out. So is this breakout the leading indicator of even more momentum to come next week? Maybe. Now, to be fair, maybe not. Maybe this thing decides to just roll right back over. That's totally possible. But again, that is a two-sided coin because, well, I mean, maybe it is the start of something bigger, and this thing's getting ready to rip and roll even more into next week. So yes, technically speaking, you did miss out on the breakout. But is this breakout the start of something even bigger? For those of you that like when that question is able to be implemented, well, then certainly keep an eye on this for next week. Next one, NVDA, and a very good day from a technical standpoint for two different reasons. Reason number one, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video previously, but we had this pattern here and it did break out of the pattern. So that's just reason number one. Then the second one was, oh, well, how would the price react with that pink line up there, the very famous, the very stubborn 200 period moving average? And you can see, yes, at first, it was indeed behaving as resistance. The price could not quite get above it. But then right here, you can see the price finally did get above it, made the move up through. Sure, it pulled back a little bit, but never even revisited that former breakout point right there. So those two things in and of itself, I would argue, very, very encouraging day here for NVDA. I'm going to get rid of those lines right there. And now it's just a question of, will this momentum continue? Now, preferably speaking, best case scenario, I mean, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward next week? That would be if the price can stay above the pink line right there. With that being said, if the price falls below it, not the end of the world, because from the bigger picture standpoint, again, you have that purple line there, 50 period moving average. As that level moves higher and higher, if you just want to envision that as a trend line that's drawing itself for you, then from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above the trend line, then overall the trend remains fully in the bull's favor. In terms of areas of resistance, as of right now, key level to watch now moving forward, it's just where the party stopped today. And that was up there essentially at 122, so keep an eye on that. But all in all, very good day. Got the pattern breakout, broke above the 200 period moving average. So let's see if the bulls can keep the momentum going next week. Real quick, I want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description area, or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, looking at UOKA, and this has been a train wreck. Very, very ugly looking chart. But for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. And I mean, just to state hopefully it's pretty obvious, but to think that the price opened here, went up there, and to think that there were some poor souls buying up around there, I hope they're using a stop loss, because from there, it dropped all the way back to where it started. And you can see where it started. Well, the price was down in this range right here. And then you look at where the price is at currently right now, and you can see, well, the price is right back inside of the range. But that's what makes it interesting, because last time the price was down in this area, you did get the nice move up. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying to expect another move all the way back up there. But what happens if it does find some buyers down here and gets another bounce back upwards? Assuming you can be disciplined from the risk management side of things, from a risk versus reward scenario, even if you get a very small, modest bounce, relative to what's being risked, you could be looking at a very nice risk versus reward scenario. So if you're a disciplined trader, you should definitely be a disciplined trader regardless. But if you're going to be a disciplined, if you're going to honor all those plans and you like penny stocks, then this is definitely a nice little risk versus reward potential opportunity. Next one here, TSLA, Tesla, and this will mean more to those of you that watch the previous videos. But if you have, you know that I've been talking about that resistance line right there and the power of charts. If you don't believe me, I've had that red line in there, but like I said, if you don't believe me, no offense is taken. Just go back in the video archive and you can watch a previous video. But I've had that level, we've been tracking it, and then, well, once again, power of charts, that area is indeed acting as resistance. Now, the good news is that the price is actually very close to doing battle with it. So while that still doesn't guarantee anything, it does make it reasonable to think that, okay, I think next week the price could get a push up through there, because it's not like the price has to travel a great distance just to be able to do battle with it. So that is certainly a more than valid question to throw out there. Can the price finally get the break up through that trend line? So keep an eye on that. As far as supports are concerned, preferably speaking, you want to see the price stay above the purple line right there, which you now know is that 50 period moving average. But if the price were to fall down below there, I would say that 233.50 is a much more important level, but I'm not going to really go much into why that's the case, because as of right now, like I said, the price is much closer to breaking out right now than, breaking down through that level right there. So all in all, Tesla couldn't quite get the job done today, but it's certainly knocking on the door. So we'll see if it can get through next week. Next one, PLTR, very nice day. Sort of like NVIDIA because it broke above a couple of, well, actually, now that I look at it, it broke above 3 levels in all actuality. First level it broke above was that initial area of resistance right there at 81. Then it broke above that second level of resistance right there, the red line. And now it's gotten up above the pink line right there, the 200 period moving average. So PLTR had a even, I would say, stronger day than NVIDIA did. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. But yes, a very, very strong day. With the way it's broken above all these levels. Now, first key update is just based on that foundational rule. When levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So, preferably speaking, 85.15 would be the level that if the price can stay above it, that would certainly make the chart look the strongest. But taking a step back, as I've said before, that 50-period moving average, as that line moves itself higher and higher, as long as the price stays above there, then the overall trend, the overall drift of this breakout right now, I would argue is still in the bull's control. So, use that purple line in that regard. What about levels of resistance? Next key, really main battleground, in my opinion, at least as far as resistances are concerned, right there around the $88.50 mark. So keep a close eye on that. But yes, no doubt about it. 3 resistance levels broken today from the technical standpoint. So let's see if the bulls can carry that momentum into next week. Next one here, BON, and one of these ugly looking charts again, but as you know, I'm going to say there can be opportunity in the ugly. And some of it's already sort of played out because think about it. At one point, this thing was dropping. And then look right where it found some buyers, right at that purple line before a little bit of a bounce. So what I'm curious about moving forward is, does the price come back here? And if it does it once again get caught up in that area right there and then maybe get another nice bounce in the upwards direction? So again, from a risk versus reward scenario, this assumes that you're going to be disciplined and on a risk. You could be looking at a very nice reward relative to what was being risked. Now, this thing could be getting ready to absolutely plow down through these areas right here. And that's why stop losses, that's why discipline matters. But like I said, my point is, even if you just get a little bit of a modest bounce relative to what's being risked, you could look at a nice situation. So if you like these circumstances where you get these pretty nasty moves and then they start to kind of chop around by very, very, logical areas such as these big old moving averages, then again, not guaranteed, but certainly more than plausible to think maybe that is the bottoming and there could get a bounce in the upwards direction. So like I said, if you like these circumstances, keep a close eye on it. Next one here, looking at MSTU. And again, for those of you that have watched past videos, this has been definitely a very, I'm sure, annoying level to people. But just getting stuck down below in this range. I mean, time and time again, that red line just would not like let the price separate. But today finally did release. So not only did it break above the resistance line there, but like a lot of these other ones, that pink line has also been cleared away. Originally, it was acting stubborn, but when it did finally break right there, got more continuation. So again, very, very solid movement here. All sorts of levels of resistance have been broken. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of both these levels. And same idea, I'm going through this a little quicker. Actually, you know what? In this situation, I'm going to do something a little different. Let's get a trend line in play because I'm curious about that trend line. So you could totally use a moving average if you wanted to. I guess I'm just for my own sake trying to mix it up a little bit. So you could use that 50-period moving average, or you could just throw this trend line in place, in my opinion at least, to gauge the health of the current move. Because yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due. As of right now, this is a very, very, methodical move in the upwards direction. So what's the health of the movement? Well, as long as the price stays above that trend line, in my opinion, then the bulls are still at full health. What about next potential areas of resistance? Did it break through that gap close location? I can't quite tell in terms of the naked eye test. No, that's pretty much right where it's doing battle right here. That gap close location at 603. If it can push up through there, next key level of resistance after that, right up around the 688 mark. So all in all, very nice way to end the week. And like a lot of these other ones, let's see if the momentum carries into next week. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Like I said, it'll be next week on Thursday, March 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, as always, if you like these, please hit that like button. And if you're looking for a super free and easy way to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help out. So thanks for watching. Take care and make sure you get signed up for the free class. Have a great weekend.